It began with a dull thud in the middle of the night. Half asleep, I figured it was just a raccoon knocking over trash cans again, and rolled back over. By morning, I realized I was very wrong. My mailbox was lying sideways like it had lost a bar fight, bent metal, crooked post, barely hanging on by a rusted bolt. Strange, sure, but I convinced myself a delivery truck had clipped it while cutting the corner. I propped it back up, hammered it straight, and went on with my day. 2 days later, it happened again. This time, there was no pretending it was an accident. The entire post had been torn out of the ground, as if someone had backed over it deliberately and floored the gas. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Don't forget to like and subscribe for premium HOA chaos. That was the moment I stopped shrugging it off. Every couple of nights, like clockwork, my mailbox was destroyed, flattened, crushed. Sometimes there were clear tire tracks pressed into the grass. Other times, it looked like a miniature bulldozer had gone to work on it. I'd rebuild it, repaint it, replant the post, and without fail, within 48 hours, it was wrecked again. This wasn't bad driving. Someone had a vendetta against my mailbox. I even tried playing detective, staying up late with a flashlight and a bag of beef jerky like a budget suburban night watchman. Didn't matter. Whoever was doing it had flawless timing. I was always asleep, in the shower, or gone just long enough for them to strike and disappear. I started asking around. No one claimed to see anything. One neighbor mentioned hearing an engine rev loudly around 2 in the morning. Another said they noticed a gray SUV parked near my driveway the night before. The problem was that half the HOA owned gray SU versus .t that point. I started wondering if I was losing it. I filed a formal complaint, but the HOA board gave me the usual response: they'd look into it. Look into what? A mailbox being used as a stress ball? None of it added up. Out of pure frustration, I even mounted one of those plastic owls on top of the post, hoping it might scare off whatever lunatic was targeting it. It didn't. If anything, it looked like the owl caught a punch to the face along with the mailbox. I was done being patient. Whoever was doing this was confident, calculated, and clearly enjoying themselves. But I wasn't about to let it slide forever. I marched straight into the HOA office with the clipboard under my arm, photos of my demolished mailbox stapled together like evidence from a true crime documentary. And sitting behind the desk, of course, was the empress of suburban misery herself, Karen. Her smile was tight and sharp, the kind you'd expect from a snake right before it strikes. I cleared my throat. Someone has been repeatedly running over my mailbox. I've reported it 3 times. Nothing's been done. Karen tilted her head and blinked slowly, as I'd just spoken in riddles. Oh, your mailbox, she said, dragging out the words as if mail delivery was a brand new concept. Yes, the one in front of my house. The one that keeps getting turned into scrap metal every other night. She folded her hands and leaned back, studying the photos. It could have been a delivery truck, she said casually. Or maybe the wind. Those older posts break easily. Stared at her like she'd suggested Bigfoot was responsible. It's been hit 4 times. There are tire marks and twisted metal. This isn't in my head. That's when she switched to her official HOA voice, smooth, patronizing, dripping with fake authority. Well, look into it. In the meantime, make sure your mailbox is HOA compliant. Proper height, approved paint, and correct post material. You wouldn't want to be fined. I almost laughed. I came in because my mailbox kept getting destroyed, and she was already threatening to fine me for it not being destroyed correctly. Still, I fixed it again. New post, fresh paint. I even added a reflective strip so no one could claim they didn't see it. This time, I made it impossible to miss. Thicker wood, buried deep, reinforced like it was guarding Fort Knox. The following few nights were strangely quiet. No crashes, no screeching tires, not even a scratch. I started thinking maybe my visit to the HOA office had finally sunk in. Maybe Karen actually did something for once. I even spotted her one morning, jogging past my house, decked out in a neon pink tracksuit that practically yelled, "I own this neighborhood." I gave her a polite nod. She answered with that same tight smile, friendly on the surface, empty behind the eyes. Still, I let myself believe the war was over. I wasn't even on alert when it happened. It was a calm Sunday morning. I was parked by the front window with my coffee, wearing socks, and running on zero tolerance for nonsense. That's when I saw her, Karen, behind the wheel of her gray SUV, rolling down the street slowly and deliberately, like a shark circling. She eased up near my yard, glanced around, and then floored it. In a heartbeat, my freshly rebuilt mailbox was obliterated, smashed flat, like she was auditioning for Fast and Furious, HOA edition. My jaw dropped. She wasn't done. She backed up and ran it over again, just to be cruel, then parked her car neatly as she'd just finished grocery shopping. No guilt, no pause, just textbook HOA villain behavior. I bolted outside, coffee mug still in my hand, and yelled, "Karen, what the hell was that?" She stepped out of her SUV, adjusting her visor as she'd arrived at a brunch, not the scene of a felony. "Oh, that?" she said, eyes wide, playing innocent. "I didn't see it. Your mailbox just came out of nowhere." I stared at the hole in the ground where it had stood for years, then back at her. "It's been there for 5 years. She waved me off. "Well, it's not even the approved HOA color. It's supposed to be antique bronze, not this gloomy gray," I scoffed. "You mean the same gray as your car?" She blinked as I'd personally offended the sun. "It's not my fault you didn't follow the guidelines. Maybe if you'd complied," I cut her off. "You're not even sorry?" She shrugged. "I'm the HOA president. Honestly, you should be grateful I haven't fined you." That was the moment it clicked. This wasn't carelessness. This was entitlement. Karen thought her HOA title made her untouchable, that she could destroy whatever she wanted and stroll away smiling. But she'd misjudged me badly. That night, I didn't fume or complain. I planned. If Karen enjoyed demolishing mailboxes, I was going to give her one she'd never forget. I wasn't calling the cops. This had become personal. If she wanted a showdown, I'd give her the Super Bowl of suburban payback. I spent the entire weekend rebuilding the mailbox, only this time it wasn't just a mailbox. It was a fortress. Inside the wooden post, I reinforced it with half-inch cold-rolled steel, welded to a buried steel beam sunk deep into a concrete base. On the outside, I painted it the exact same gray she despised, just to twist the knife. It looked normal. It felt like a tank. I installed a hidden camera, wired in a motion sensor, and for fun, glued a fake squirrel on top. If I were setting a trap, I might as well decorate. 2 days later, I was back at my window, coffee in hand, watching like a hawk in fuzzy slippers. Right on schedule, Karen's gray SUV crept down the street again. She slowed, lined herself up, and then boom. Metal met steel. Her bumper crumpled instantly. The hood folded like a soda can. The mailbox didn't budge. She hit it so hard the airbag exploded in her face. I nearly choked on my coffee laughing. She staggered out of the car, hair a mess, eyes wild, looking like a possum that had just lost an argument with reality. She stood there staring at the mailbox, rubbing her forehead, clearly betrayed by physics itself. I walked out calmly, phone in hand, already replaying the footage. "You might want to get that bumper checked, Karen," I said, barely holding back a grin. Funny how the mailbox didn't appear out of nowhere this time. Her face turned bright red. "This is a safety hazard. I'm reporting you to the HOA board." I laughed. "Go for it. I've got video. Multiple angles. Want me to send it to your insurance company too?" She looked like she'd swallowed something sour. Without another word, she stormed back to her mangled SUV and drove off, dragging what little dignity she had left behind her like a broken muffler. As for my mailbox, still standing, not a scratch, solid, unmovable, built like justice. In the video, let's just say it had a very special screening at the next neighborhood watch meeting, popcorn included. The end. Like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns. And tell me, do you think Karen got exactly what she deserved? Drop it in the comments.